Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Right now, there are about 15 million refugees in the world. Some are fleeing wars and terrorism. Others are fleeing repressive governments. Some have been forced to leave their country because criminal organizations are threatening them or their family. And some see the only way to escape crushing poverty is to leave their country and try to find a better life someplace else. Others have been forced to relocate because of drought or famine. The land that used to support them won't anymore. And not all refugees move to another country. Some are internally displaced, wandering their own country or going from the countryside to the cities or in order to find a better life. Many don't have passports or IDs, or any other kind of paperwork, which makes life incredibly difficult for them. But they all have one thing in common, that's incredibly tragic stories. And what's even more tragic is that these people who are desperately in need of help are being greeted with suspicion and hostility, even though they are victims. And even the most well-intentioned of us has to realize that we just can't help everybody. There is a limit to the amount of people any country can take in. Some places might be more welcoming than others, but even those can't say yes to everybody. And of course, there are a lot of politicians making hay by fueling fear, prejudice, and hatred against these people. Our own president is one of them. It's shameful that this president not only denies their humanity, but encourages their abuse. And this refugee situation has destabilized much of the world's political structure. We're seeing a rise of extreme right-wing political parties and individuals fueling by hatred and ignorance, encouraging violence. But if you think that this is a bad situation, you ain't seen nothing yet. Imagine if instead of millions of refugees, there were hundreds of millions of them. That's what's going to happen if we don't get our heads out of the sand and start doing something to fight against climate change. There will be widespread drought and famine. That will create wars over resources that are becoming increasingly scarce, forcing more and more people to be uprooted, to be fleeing from circumstances that they can no longer live in. And it won't just be over there. During the Depression and the Dust Bowl, there were a lot of Americans who were forced to leave those areas that they lived in and become refugees within the United States here. And that will happen again. We will very soon have a lot of refugees right here within our own borders. I wonder how we'll treat them. Thanks for listening. Well, I want to thank you all for watching my videos. But there are certain changes that Google has made to YouTube, which, since I'm a smaller channel, means that I can't monetize my videos. So I found places where I can. So instead of watching my videos here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you go either to Patreon or to Top Buzz. They let me monetize videos and I don't even have to put commercials on them. So, if you want to become a patron on Patreon, that's fine. If you don't, you can still watch the videos there. I've just kind of given up on YouTube. YouTube is just a place that I use so that I can put my videos in other places. So Patreon, Top Buzz. The links are in the description box. Thanks a lot.